Detective Rafael Morales didn't believe in coincidence. That belief had cost him promotions, favors, and the easy version of his career, the one where you nodded at the right people and learned when not to ask follow-up questions. Morales asked them anyway. He had learned early that the truth rarely announced itself. It waited to be noticed. He arrived at our house on the third day. By then, my mother had stopped sleeping properly. My father had stopped saying my name out loud. The house felt suspended, like everyone was holding their breath and hoping oxygen would become optional. When Morales knocked, my mother straightened automatically. Authority still did that to her. She smoothed her blouse, checked the mirror in the hallway, and opened the door with a polite, practiced smile. "Yes?" "Detective Morales," he said, holding up his badge just long enough to be respectful. "I'm sorry we're meeting like this." The apology landed differently than others had. It didn't rush, it didn't soften, it didn't ask to be forgiven. My father stepped forward immediately, hand extended. "Adrian Alvarez," he said. "Please come in." Morales shook his hand and released it quickly, as if he didn't want the gesture mistaken for anything else. Inside, Morales didn't comment on the house, not the careful decor, not the family photos, not the absence that pressed against every wall. He stood still, letting the room reveal itself. "I'll keep this brief," he said. "I know this is difficult." My father nodded. My mother clasped her hands together. "How long has Nikki been missing?" Morales asked. "Since Monday afternoon," my mother said. "After school." "And you filed the report this morning," Morales said. My father cleared his throat. "We didn't want to overreact." Morales's pen paused. "Why not?" The question was gentle. That made it harder. My father chose his words carefully. "Nikki has a history of needing space." I felt my name flatten under the weight of explanation. Morales looked up. "Has she done this before?" "No. I mean, she's stayed out late, but she always comes home." Morales wrote that down. "And you had guests the night she didn't?" Morales asked. My father stiffened slightly. "Yes." "Who?" "The Hawthorns," my mother said. "William and Eleanor." Morales nodded once. "The district attorney?" "Yes," my father said. "And their son, Lucas Hawthorne." Silence. Morales didn't rush it. He waited the way people do when they already know the answer. "Yes," my father said finally. "They go to school together." Morales wrote Lucas Hawthorne's name carefully, as if he had written it before. He asked about my routine, my friends, my phone, my habits, questions my parents struggled to answer because they had never felt urgent before. At one point, Morales looked up and said, "Can I see her room?" My mother hesitated. My father nodded. Upstairs, Morales paused at my door. I stood beside him, watching his hand hover near the knob. For a moment, just a moment, I wondered if he could feel the shape of me there. Not a ghost, not a presence, an absence with weight. He opened the door. My room was exactly as I'd left it. Unmade bed, backpack by the chair, a notebook open on my desk, corners bent, pages filled with handwriting that refused to behave. Morales didn't touch anything. He scanned the room the way you scan a shoreline after a storm, looking for what shouldn't be missing. He noticed the charger still plugged into the wall, my shoes lined up neatly, the notebook. "What did she write?" he asked softly. My mother shrugged. "Just thoughts." Morales leaned closer, not touching, just reading what was visible. Lists, observations, dates, patterns. He murmured under his breath, barely audible, "Esto no parece una fuga." This doesn't look like a runaway. He closed my door gently when he left, like I might still be inside. Downstairs, Morales stood again in the living room, notebook closed. "I'm going to be direct," he said. "When girls go missing, people decide what kind of girl she was. That decision changes how hard we look." My father's jaw tightened. "We're cooperating." "I know," Morales said. "I just want to be sure cooperation doesn't turn into explanation." My mother flinched. Morales met my father's eyes. "Has Nikki ever mentioned feeling unsafe?" "No," my father said quickly. Morales didn't challenge him. He asked instead, "Has she ever tried?" My mother looked at the stairs. My father said nothing. Morales nodded, as if confirming something for himself. "I'll need access to Nikki's phone records," he said. "Social media. Passwords." My father's voice cooled. "That will require a formal request." Morales's expression didn't change. "You're a prosecutor," he said. "You know how delays work." A beat. "You also know how patterns work." My father bristled. "Detective." Morales raised a hand, not confrontational. "I'm not accusing anyone," he said. "I'm saying I've seen this before." He left soon after. No promises, no reassurances, just a nod at the door. Outside, Morales sat in his car without starting the engine. I followed him. He reached into the passenger seat and pulled out a worn folder, edges softened by years of handling. He rested it on his lap and stared at it, as if weighing whether to open a wound. Then he did. The name on the first page was printed in bold. Marisol Vega, 17. Withdrawn complaint. Closed case. Morales stared at her school photo, the careful smile, the alert eyes. "Perdóname," he said quietly. "Otra vez. Forgive me, again." He flipped through the file, the missing minute on a school camera, the polite language, the procedural neatness. And there, clean, confident, undeniable, my father's signature. Morales closed the file slowly. He didn't look surprised. He looked resolved. He took out his phone and made a call. "Lauren," he said when someone answered. "It's me." A pause. He continued, "I've got another girl, and the same name keeps coming up." Another pause. He listened. "No," Morales said finally. "I'm not letting this one disappear." He ended the call and started the engine. As he drove away from my house, he glanced once in the rearview mirror. Not at the road, at the place where silence still believed it could pass for safety. Morales didn't believe in that anymore. And for the first time since I didn't come home, someone was looking at the right thing. Not my reputation, not my family's standing, the pattern, and the girl it kept swallowing.